How's it going, everybody? How's it going? It is Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving was a few days ago, but call it the Thanksgiving weekend. And we're heading into the holiday season, the full on Christmas season. If you believe in Christmas, I don't know, time to go shopping, I guess. Got your shopping list and all that. Do your Amazon shopping and whatever. Go out to your favorite stores, get your gifts for your loved ones and your friends. The spirit of giving, the holiday season is here. So, just a little short video. Let's talk about being thankful for what we have and seriously, seriously being thankful. If you had a meal today, at least one meal, that's a blessing. If you had two meals, super blessing. If you're having three meals a day, that is total blessings. All right. So that's thank God for that. Thank God for that. This podcast that I'm doing, I'm gonna have another one that's gonna be more. It's gonna be more branded. I have better equipment, better microphones, all that stuff, and I'm gonna put it down on or put it on social media. This one is just kind of like my practice runs, and basically talking about just positive things, trying to help people navigate through life, whatever it is they're going through, and just bring people together to reach their goals in life. I think everyone has some kind of goal, whether it's a new job. Jobs are hard to get sometimes nowadays. Maybe they're praying that their child is going to get off of drugs or get off of any vice that they have, because we live in a world full of obstacles, especially for young kids these days. They got social media, they got news that's not real or information that's leading them down the wrong path. Maybe not a very perilous path, but not the right path. And this is what I'm trying to do, is bring people back to wisdom, common sense, and putting God in it, and really focusing on just making your life a little smoother with wisdom. I think a lot of people nowadays aren't using common sense in a lot of things that they do. You know, times are hard these days, and I still see people buying expensive things. And I know some people aren't making a lot of money right now, but they're buying expensive stuff. And that's their business. But I think a lot of them, if they don't watch what they do, they'll be in hot water. Old guys like us, I did that. Bought the fancy Jeep back in the day, got in debt, just ruined my finances because I didn't have wisdom, or just following other people that I shouldn't have, take me down a different road. But the thing about it is we all have that ability to stop and think for ourselves and ask ourselves, is this choice I'm making the right choice in this situation? Like I was just talking about, people just buying expensive stuff, like maybe cars, jewelry, or they're taking trips on credit. So you try to make the right choices. Ask yourself, if I sign on the dotted line to get this car, drive it off the lot, what's going to happen if I can't pay the bills? Or do you really need that new car? Or if you need a car or a better one than you have right now, or you don't have a car so you want to get, try and find something that really, really is going to be durable and fits your budget. And if you got a mechanic friend or someone that knows cars are like really modern these days. If you got a friend that knows about cars, talk to him, because you really don't need, a lot of times you don't need like a brand spanking new car that costs you an arm and a leg. And a lot of people get into debt because they don't check that out, and I was one of them. So, you know, get wise, get some wisdom, get common sense. It's good to do your shopping before you buy anything. I got family members that are good with shopping. They won't sign on the dotted line, they won't click buy until they check everything out, the pros and cons of spending their hard-earned money on anything, a car or whatever, houses or trips. Because if you don't need something right away, we're just talking about purchasing things and wisdom. There's certain things in life that you really need. You need food. Like, even if you're talking about food, how much money you got to buy food, and if you got money at all. If you have some money, you're blessed. So you got to be wise with how you spend your money, right? Like, if you have only $100 that's supposed to last you for 2 weeks, that's a tough gig right there, man. Especially nowadays with everything expensive. So you really have to, like, check it out. How are you going to spend that? And if you decide to buy a prime rib dinner for two, you and your wife or whatever, then you're going to do that tomorrow night. That means in 9 days you're going to pretty much be broke for the next 9 days. If you got to make that last for 2 weeks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you got to make $100 last that long, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have vices. They have, drug problems. They would rather get high than save their money to buy food. And you see them out in the streets, and the guys are just strung out, and they're like, "Hey man, you got some money you can lend me?" And you look at them, it's like, dude, you're making wrong choices. You can tell the people, and I'm not judging anybody, but you can tell the people that just not making the right choices. And I had friends that were homeless, and I still got friends that are like homeless, and whenever they get money, they're buying booze, they're buying drugs, they're out on the street or they're at the beach, and they're just disheveled. They're filthy. I'm not making fun of them, but they're filthy. Their hygiene is out the window, and their health is going down. Their mental health is going down. Their physical health is going down, and that's not good. That's not good at all. That's no way to live. That's no way. I think God wants us to live, because God has us, and it's like we are like temples, right? Basically. So for us to damage ourselves, we're kind of like damaging God's property. And when I see people like that, that's really sad. Their lives are going down the drain, and they're not making wise choices because their minds are gone, their minds are fried, and that's just hard. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm just freewheeling here, just improvising or riffing it. But yeah, this whole thing I'm trying to do. This is going to be a short video, just about common sense, making the right choices, and having wisdom. You know what I mean? And right now, again, I'm just improvising, talking about wisdom. It's good to be friendly out in public, but nowadays, especially here, on Maui, where I live, it's generally a friendly island. The county is, the whole island is Maui County, and we got several towns on the island. It's basically safe, but there's some people now that's strung out on drugs, and crime is slowly creeping up. People are like deceiving others because they need money. So just be aware that somebody that you want to be friendly, but you help someone out and they're gonna hurt you. That's what I'm saying. So again, there's friendly people that disguise themselves like friendly people, but actually they're like really evil deep down inside. So watch out. Be careful of who you meet out there. And I tell my family a lot, especially my female family members, that if you're driving at night by yourself, if someone flagging you down, you can slow down, but don't get out of your car. Don't stop right away. Lock your doors. And if anything, if you just got to use your common sense. If you feel that something's bad, Just tell that person, hey, I'm gonna make a call for you, and that's all I can do, and just drive off. Because a lot of times people, they'll stage a car wreck, they'll stage a flat tire, they'll stage something's wrong with their motors, they'll have their hood up, and they're actually out to do you harm. I'm not saying that you gotta be worried all the time, and concerned about that kind of stuff, but you gotta think. You gotta think, if you got something that's built inside you, that sixth sense, if that sense of yours is saying, nah, I'm not going to help you, then trust your gut feeling. If that's wrong, then it's wrong. But you got to protect yourself, especially if you have kids in your car. Don't stop. Keep the windows closed. Keep the doors locked. And don't let anybody in your car. And have somebody with you if you can. And if you got your phone logged into your dash, with the GPS or the entertainment system, you know, call somebody. Like, if you're having a problem, call somebody, let them know where you're at, and just be safe. It's the holidays, and I just don't want to see anybody getting burned by someone that's manipulating you, or trying to change your mind, and next thing you know, you get hurt. So just have wisdom, and that's it. Short one. Just have wisdom, have common sense with what's happening out there, and yeah, you should be fine. All right, guys. Happy holidays. Till next time.